I watched the Oscars last night, and I thought it was interesting listening to Chris Rock's monologue. I thought it was very well done, and he hit it out of the park, dealing with race the way he did, directly and head on. But I think that there's something that doesn't get said in this whole thing that I think is really, there's more to it than just, is Hollywood racist? Well, of course it is. I mean, most of America is racist. That goes without saying, unfortunately, that's true. But I think one thing, if there's any consolation so that people don't feel singled out in this particular issue, I've actually lived in Los Angeles, and there is a statistic about that there are 1 million working actors, supposedly, in Los Angeles County alone. Now, out of 1 million working actors, only about 112,000 are in the Screen Actors Guild, which means that they're in the union so that they could be hired to be in a movie or a television show that you would see on TV or in a movie. So that's only 10% of all working actors. Now, out of the 112,000 people in SAG, they say only about 28,000, 30,000 people are working full time. That's out of the 112,000 SAG actors. So it's a very small percentage. So you've got 30,000 people who are working full time as paid actors out of 1 million people in Los Angeles. That's 3%. Now, in America, there's 320 million people. The statistics in 2014 for African Americans living in the United States was 45 million African Americans out of 322 million people in the United States. That's 14% of the population. So African Americans are only 14% of the population of the entire country. Now, out of this 1 million working actors, what do you think the percentage of African Americans who are trying to be actors in LA is? It's probably very small because they're only 14% of the entire population. So they're underrepresented in the country, let alone in the arts. I think the more important question is, why aren't there more people of color pursuing the arts, acting in particular, if that's what they're talking about? So that's really more, it's, I think it's a numbers game as much as it is, obviously there is a insider network in Hollywood. I've lived there before. They, for years, have said, if you're Jewish, you have a greater chance of working in Hollywood because most of the studio executives are Jewish. That's not a racist thing. That's a fact. So yeah, of course, there's racism, there's favoritism, there's all kinds of things. But in defense to some of the arguments, part of it's a numbers game too. It's just, how many black actors are pursuing careers in Hollywood? It's very, very small as opposed to people of certainly white, but yeah, other races as well. For every Leonardo DiCaprio, you've got a million other guys just like it. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, you've got, but for every Denzel Washington, yeah, there just aren't as many because there aren't as many people of color who are even pursuing acting. So that's part of it too. Anyway, I found the show interesting, and who knows.